Hey everyone, today we'll talk about three Indian anthropologists, two Indian anthropologists and one Indologist, we can say. The first one is Irawati Karve, then we'll talk about him and Srinivas, and the last one will be Luois Dumont. Okay, so first we'll talk about Irawati Karve. And Irawati Karve was born in Burma. In 1905, she completed her study in Pune from Deccan College. Later, she pursued masters in sociology from University of Bombay University, under the guidance of Gurye, in which under the guidance of Gurye, and her master's thesis topic was the Chitpavan Brahmin and ethnic study, in which she studied her own community and used anthropological anthropological insights in it. And afterwards, she persuaded for PhD from Berlin University under the guidance of under the supervision or the guidance of A. Fisher. While doing her PhD, she criticized or she rejected the racial hypothesis proposed by her guide, that R. Fisher. And after her PhD thesis, she came to India. Her notable contributions are the main contributions her are in socio-cultural anthropology is the kinship organization in India. She completed her book Kinship Organization in India, in which the India was divided into 4 zones: North, Central, East, and South, based on the kinship systems present in. She divided India into 4 zones to understand the variations of the diversity on the basis of on the lines of language, kinship terminologies. Then we can talk about culture, then family system, etc. After kinship organization in India, she is later followed by her work, a book called Hindu Society and Interpretation. In this particular book, Hindu Society and Interpretation, she talked about how the jati is the main kinship group, or localized kinship extension of kinship group, around which the whole society of Indian society is organized. According to her, it is not the hierarchical 4 Varna system around which the society was developed. She was of a belief that it is the localized jati, an extension of a kinship group around which the whole system was developed. And afterward, her physical or biological anthropological contribution, she talked about her important work was anthropometric measurement of Maharashtra and anthropometric measurement of Maratha, in which she compared she traced the physical characteristics of the people or ethnic people living in the particular local areas. In the after this biological and physical anthropology, her work in village studies is notable, but we don't have to talk about, we don't need it. But there is one particular book written by her was the social dynamics of growing town and its surrounding area, in which she talks about some of the modern forces and which are shaping some of the important institutions. How the particular let me just clarify on it, how the industry, how the it's a monograph in which she talks about the industrialization and social adaptation because of this particular phenomena. Later in her book, Yuganta received and Sahitya Akademi Award. In the particular Yuganta book, she understood, or she analyzed the Mahabharata and its characters, and she gave an insight of anthropological insight, or how this particular social, gender, and kinship dynamics are playing in the Mahabharata role. Her contribution was highly regarded, and even today inspiring the current anthropological theories and students, and living in the minds of her disciples and current anthropologists. So we are done with Irawati Karve. We'll now focus on the next Indian anthropology, that is M.N. Srinivas. About M.N. Srinivas, you must understand that there are 4 to 5 concepts which are given by him. The famous, he was a student of Gurier, okay, and he was heavily influenced by the works of Gurier, first one, and Redcliffe Brown. So he was similar. He was tended more towards the structure functionalism. Now we'll talk about some of his contributions to the Indian anthropology, development of Indian anthropology. So M.N. Srinivas. So for M.N. Srinivas, you can talk about his famous book Religion and Society Among the Cooks of South India, in which he talks about the process of Brahmanization, and later which turned into Sanskritization, a value neutral term. So this is the first Brahmanization में क्या होता है कि people live their habit of liquor consumption, meat consumption, then restrictions is increased, women's role in economy decreases, and then ritual purity, rituals, traditions are followed in a strict manner on a regular basis. These are some of the features of Brahmanization. We are not concerned about it. We are concerned this Brahmanization was not a value neutral term. It was more or less prejudiced term reflecting a particular community. So he come up with in the next periods he come up with the term of Sanskritization. After this Religion and Society Among Cooks of South India, his famous work is let me just have it in my this. The Remembered Village. Okay, his village studies. Remembered Village. Before Remembered Village, there was his monograph, or his diary, which he prepared while doing the field study among the Rampur village in Mysore of Karnataka. But the diary was ultimately lost. So he remembered the things and wrote in the book called The Remembered Village, in which he specifically talked about his fieldwork study of Rampura village. So in this particular book, he gave the concept of dominant caste. So what is dominant caste? Dominant caste is nothing but the numerically predominant group which wields the political and economic power than the minorities. For example, in Rampura village, there the Vokalingas were numerically high, so they wielded all the powers and they were dominating in all the spheres of life compared to Lingayat Brahmins. So this is the example we can quote about the Remembered Village. उसके बाद हम ये बात कर सकते हैं कि social changes in modern India. So in social changes in modern India, he talks about two modern forces, westernization and secularization, and how they are impacting and how they are shaping the current social institutions of India, mainly focused on caste system. Then also afterwards he also talk about the solidarity things, right? So solidarity mein he talks about the two types of solidarity: vertical solidarity and horizontal solidarity. So vertical solidarity is been maintained by the system called Jajmani system, in which there is a Jajman and there are his followers or his workers in which there is a relation, there is a vertical relations. Both are interdependent upon each other. Jajman and Kai. Kamjin, I think Kamjin is Kamjin only. And that's more or less about Evan Srinivas. And he also gave the speech in the Indian Science Congress in 1957. Usme he gave the famous speech, and there is a famous line from that the caste system is dying but not the caste. Due to his overall contribution to the anthropology, the Indian anthropology, he received the Padma Bhushan in 1977, which is a testament of his contribution to the field. After I mentioned Srinivas, we'll talk about Luois Dumont. So, who is Luois Dumont? Luois Dumont is a French structure functionalist who was heavily influenced by the works of Lévi-Strauss. वैसे तो ये स्ट्रक्चरलिस्ट ही है, लेकिन उसको हम स्ट्रक्चर फंक्शनलिस्ट बोलते हैं, एंड ही वॉज हेवीली इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय लेवी-स्ट्रॉस. अभी ये होने के बाद देर आर सर्टन थिंग्स वी शुड कम इन टू माइंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द स्ट्रक्चर फंक्शनलिस्ट. स्ट्रक्चरलिस्ट में तीन बेसिक चीज़ें कौन सी होती है कि देर इज़ अ कल्चर, एंड कल्चर के नीचे का अंडरलाइंग स्ट्रक्चर है विच इज़ यूनिवर्सल एंड इज अप्लाई टू ऑल. फर्स्ट वन. सेकंड वन क्या होता है कि देर इज़ अ बाइनरी अपोजिशन, राइट. एंड थर्ड इज लिंग्विस्टिक बेसिस, लिंग्विस्टिक रूट्स बोल सकते हैं आप उसको. तो ये तीनों चीज़ें यहाँ पे भी अप्लाई होती है. सो लुइस डुमॉन्ट व्हाट ही डू, ही अप्लाई द स्ट्रक्चरल प्रिंसिपल्स टू अंडरस्टैंड द इंडियन सोसाइटी, एंड दिस इज एक्सप्लोर्ड इन हिज बुक द होमो हायरार्कीज. देन binary opposition, he understands some of the Indian system and the underlying structure of binary opposition, and he analyzes or he explores the system of caste, in which he talks about it's the manifestation of the human thinking pattern of binary opposition of pure and impure, ये बोलता है. Then his next concept about status and power, जहाँ पे ये बोलता है कि the ritual status of Brahmins is always predominating, and it's superseding, it's substituting the temporal power of Kshatriyas, right. So status and power, जो जैसे बाइनरी अपोजिशन होता है ना, वैसे ही स्टेटस एंड पावर. देन उसके बाद उनका सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग अबाउट हिम मेथड्स में आप बोल सकते हो कि he rejected the Western egalitarian matrix, and the reason he gave was Indian society is not individualistic, rather it's a holistic. So on that note, we'll stop the Luois Dumont. His contributions to the Indian anthropology was despite criticism, Dumont's methodology remains invaluable because it established that understanding Indian civilization requires analyzing its intricate internal value system rather than imposing Western models. Okay. And he was criticized by two anthropologists, that is Evan Srinivas. Evan Srinivas argues that his views is heavily skewed towards scriptural text, ignoring the ground reality. जैसे ब्राह्मणिकल बायस आप बोल सकते हो, ठीक है, कि आप यहाँ पे बोल रहे हो कि ब्राह्मण्स आर द ritual status is more than power, but it is contrary to the Evan Srinivas concept of dominant caste, जहाँ पे रिचुअल जो है, रिचुअल स्टेटस है, वो डोमिनेट नहीं करेगा. डोमिनेट वो करेगा जिसके पास नंबर्स होंगे. एंड कॉलोनियल निगलेक्ट एक अनदर क्रिटिसिज्म है बाय निकोलस टर्क. He points out that the Dumont ignored how British colonial policies codified and manufactured modern caste dynamics. क्योंकि ये कास्ट के बारे में बोलता है ना, कास्ट लाइक इट्स एन प्योर और इम्प्योर, ये दोनों चीज़ों से के वजह से कास्ट एंड उसका अंडरलाइंग स्ट्रक्चर इन दो बेसिस की वजह से है. तो ये बोलता है कि he neglected the colonial impact and how the caste was formed. क्योंकि कॉलोनीज ने फर्स्ट टाइम कास्ट सेंसस लेना शुरू किया था, इस वजह से कास्ट वॉज इमर्ज. सो डिस्पाइट दिस क्रिटिसिज्म, his methodology remains invaluable. It he established that understanding Indian civilization require your intrinsic internal value system rather than imposing Western models on it. So thank you.